Today, I'm going to be demoing a declarative agent with using TypeSpec, and I'll talk about it in a second. So my name is Rabia Williams, and I'm a cloud developer advocate at Microsoft. So we'll start off with Microsoft 365 Copilot. It's an AI-powered productivity tool that uses large language models and integrates your data, your Microsoft data, Microsoft 365 apps data, etc. Copilot uses your company or your org's data to answer questions, but it is also designed for general use. So if you want to tailor it to focus on specific data, or if you want to give it a specific task to do, then you need to do some optimization. So to do that, we create agents. So an agent is simply a conversational AI that chats with users, answers questions, perform tasks for you, also in a familiar chat interface. And declarative agents, that what we're going to see today of my sample, is Microsoft 365 specialized version of agents. They use the exact same infrastructure as Microsoft 365 Copilot, same foundation model, security, reliable experience as if you've already used Copilot. And the key advantage is you can customize them with specific instructions for performing these particular tasks and give them access to your specific data, add special capabilities, etc. So just to quickly recap, imagine if you're part of this HR team and your department maintains employee policies and other documents, maybe FAQ guides stored in SharePoint library. And also you have employee requests that you can make through a HR management system. And you want to create an agent, sort of like a HR assistant that helps employees quickly find answers about benefits or leave policies, workplace procedures, without flooding all this in one chat. So since policy documents are in SharePoint, and it can be complex as well. I've read some of these legal documents, and they have all these terminologies that you probably don't understand as a regular user, and you want assistants to translate that information into clear everyday language and can understand what it is. You also want these employees to be able to submit HR requests through your agent once they've understood things. So you can build a declarative agent here in this scenario, and that can access your policy library in SharePoint and also connect to your HR system through API to handle this information. So this is basically, in a nutshell, what it solves. By default, these agents only access foundation models. To use your organization data, you must specify the different data sources like Teams message. So these capabilities that you see here, Teams message, emails, OneDrive files, and SharePoint, like we discussed in that previous scenario. You could also enable web search for real-time internet information. Now, Copilot connectors in this capability brings external system data into Microsoft 365, making it searchable and available for your users as well, or for your agent. Now, actions, on the other hand, what we're going to see today, it lets agents perform tasks on your behalf with external systems through the APIs. Like, for example, in our scenario that we discussed, maybe submitting a leave request or updating employee records, etc., could be an action that's performed by your agent on your behalf. So, for example, if your instruction is translate, this policy language into employee-friendly response, then what the agent does, it goes and gets the HR policy documents, FAQ guides from SharePoint, etc., and its action would be connecting with the HR management system. Now, today, we're going to see in the sample as well, not a HR scenario, but it's a consulting company called Trey Research. And then we have all these consultant information, and you have project information. You can bill your hours as a consultant to a project, etc. So I'm just giving you the scene or the context of the sample that we're going to see. Now, this sample is built and run using Microsoft 365 Agents Toolkit. This is an extension that's available for pro code developers who love to work on code in Visual Studio Code. It is also available in Visual Studio, but today what we're going to see is using the extension in Visual Studio Code. So it basically simplifies the developer experience of building declarative agents. And it also offers templates, different templates. The toolkit offers these templates for different types of agents. So declarative agent, and there are many other different types of agents that you can build. It simplifies the development process, so you can quickly, create one, publish, and maintain that whole app lifecycle as a developer. So that's the whole point of using agents, Microsoft 365 Agents Toolkit. Now, as you build more and more agents for Copilot, you'll notice that the final output is basically a set of files bundled into a zip file, and we call that app package. And you'll install and use it. That's how it is. So it's important that you have a basic understanding of what that app package consists of. The app package of a declarative agent is very similar to Teams app. If you have ever built, if anyone in this room have built Teams app before, then you might understand it. It's got similar elements, but it has additional elements as well. So on the left side, you can see that the standard M365 app package file, which is just a manifest file, a JSON file, which defines all the standard app manifest details, and then you have the two icons images, and on the right hand side you have the declarative agent related manifest files that's needed. So you have agent manifest.json, which is your declarative agent manifest. It contains the agent name, instruction, all that capabilities that we discussed, like Teams messages, etc., code interpreter, image generation, all that information. Then you have conversation starters, and if you've got any actions, it's also included in the declarative agent manifest. You have plugin manifest.json, which will again used by Copilot to understand more about what are the operations or functions that you're going to connect with for your API calls. It also includes authentication information, and if you want really fancy rich card response from your agent, you can add adaptive card response into this plugin manifest file. It is again a JSON file. And then finally, we have the OpenAPI spec, which is a standard OpenAPI specification document, either in a JSON or a YAML format, which defines your API. So your server details, your different endpoints, parameters, all that information. That is standardized Swagger information, if you want to call it that. That is in the OpenAPI spec document file as well. So obviously, that's a lot of files. For a developer, you have to juggle with these multiple files while you're updating an APS. And anyone in this room has ever tried to update a YAML file, you know what a pain it is. So that's a lot for a developer. So that is why we have introduced a more declarative approach to building agents using TypeSpec to basically simplify and help people from editing YAML and going crazy. So what is TypeSpec, right? So it's a language developed by Microsoft for designing and describing the API contracts in a structured and type-safe way. Think of it like a blueprint for how an API should look and behave, including what data it accepts, returns, and how different parts of API and its actions are connected. So, if anyone in this room loves TypeScript over JavaScript, then it kind of enforces structure in your front-end and back-end code. That's what TypeScript does. So if you love that, you love TypeSpec, which enforces structure in your agents and its API services like actions. Now, it fits perfectly if you are a design first person. You want to design everything and then go ahead and work on your agent. So the benefits, clear communication. So you have this one TSP or a TypeScript file, which is a single source of truth written in a structured, very code developer friendly way. And that would in turn generate all these other manifest files that's needed in the app package. Consistency, it ensures that all parts of your agent and its actions and capabilities are designed consistently enough following a pattern. Then automation friendly, that's one of the biggest, because it automatically generates all these files for you. You just have to maintain those source truth files. early validation. So if there are any issues, it will catch early in from your design. Then again, to wrap it up, it's a design first approach. So it encourages developers also to think through the API structure and contracts before jumping in and implementing something. So with that, I'm just going to stop with the presentation. I think we have an understanding by now, and go into the demo. So I have my project running in here, and I will take you through the projects in a second, but let me just go and show you the demo of Trade Genie. Now we call this Trade Genie because like I said, the company's name is Trey Research, and we have consultants, projects, and all that information, and this Genie would give us all the information that we need. So I already have installed it, and I'm going to go ahead and click on one of the conversation starters and see what it gives me. So what projects am I assigned to? You might think that it would come up with my name, but it does not have an authentication system built in yet for this sample. But there are resources that you can go through in the README file when I give you the link to the sample that's in the gallery. So you can go ahead and check out how to do authentication as well. So it has brought back my projects, and apparently I am Avery Howard, who's the default logged in user. And it gives this motto, always be billing, and all those things. So as you can see here in the terminal as well, it has gone ahead and called the me endpoint for me. And I had mentioned that it should always say always be billing. This is just to show you how this is the instruction that is sent into the agent, and it exactly follows that. Now let's go ahead and see another call. For example, okay, charge 10 hours to say Woodgrove project. Okay, the project name is not even Woodgrove. I'm just gonna send the client name and see what happens. It should ideally, if demo gods are good, it should do this. So it will confirm with me because it's a post operation. It's an agent and assistant, but it doesn't have the capability to go ahead and perform an actions without checking with you first. So it goes ahead and asks for confirmation, and it should call the post endpoint for me today. So yeah, it looks like it has done the job. And it has also come back with an adaptive card. Now let's go back and see what happened. So it went ahead and called the post call for me. It understood that the project name is financial data plugin. That's good. So it looks like it's working. Now, there are a few things. I've turned on the agent debugger mode on by just typing in developer on in my chat. I've already done that. I don't need to do that again. But as you can see, this will give you some information on, okay, what calls for our operations were being called by my agent and its response, etc. All this information will be available to you. It's nice if you're developing to keep this on and check, if it's doing the right thing. So that's the demo. And I just want to quickly go back to the code and show you the files. So this is the TSP file. Like I said, this is a very, and I will show you the file you should probably work with if there was no TypeSpec. So this is agent name, description, instruction, conversation starter. And here are the three operations that you also saw in that agent debug information. I'll quickly show that again. So these are the three operations available for your agent, and it chose the right one. Thanks to your instruction and all that other information. So this is being defined here. Now, these actions are defined in the actions.tsp file. If you come here, you will see the server information. You'll see the different endpoints, the cards, the adaptive card I'm using for this particular calls, model, data model of these data, etc., defined in here as well. So this is a very code developer friendly way of doing things, and it generates what we call these files. So the declarative agent JSON file that we discussed earlier, the API, the plugin manifest file, which is this. It has all the information. This is used by Copilot to understand things about your agent's capability. And then there is the spec file, the YAML file that you would have had to write on your own if it weren't for TypeSpec generating this for you. So this is basically the demo to show you the benefits. And let me just quickly show you. Oh, that was my recorded one in case I'm not able to do it on live. So this is the sample that's available. Go check it out. This is the aka.link, but it's in our samples gallery. So go ahead and check out this sample. Thank you so much.